Hi, welcome everyone. Good afternoon to those of you who are here in the United States, and good evening to those who are tuning in from Turkey. My name is Elmira Bayraslı. I am thrilled to be back to be hosting TPF's Voices of Partners for this special edition, where we get to talk to recipients of the Sena, Eken, Schieber Economics Award. It's an award that is dedicated to brilliant minds who are pursuing the field of economics and people who happen to be of the female persuasion. And we have four amazing women coming to us from different places, and we're going to get to talk to all of them who have either received this award or who are just embarking on this award. I will just do a round robin of introductions, and then we'll get started in our conversation. Joining us is Ayşenur Batal. Ayşenur, you can say hello. Elif Eken.
Hey.
Sila Öztürk.
Hello.
Kardelen Çiçek.
Hi, everyone.
Congratulations, ladies. What a remarkable achievement. I'm excited to talk to all of you and to learn a little bit more about you, but why don't we start with you, Ayşenur? I was told we can go in alphabetical order. This makes it very easy. Ayşenur, why don't you tell us where you're from and where you're going to be studying?
Yeah, sure. Well, right now I'm joining from Istanbul, but my family lives in Burhaniye, Balıkesir, so I live with them. But I studied in Ankara, so it's too complicated. So I studied at Eken. I studied management, and now I will start my master's study in applied economics at the George Washington University.
Great, wonderful. We have lots of we have a large Turkish community in Washington, D.C. So lucky Washington, D.C. that you get Ayşenur. Elif, can you tell us where you're from and where you're going to be studying?
Yes, I'm actually from Istanbul, and I graduated from Koç University in Istanbul with a double major in economics and international relations. And now I'm an incoming MA in economics student at Columbia University. And I am one of the awardees this year, and I'm also a Fulbright scholar.
Wonderful. We're thrilled to be welcoming you to New York City here, Elif. I look forward to meeting you in person. Sila.
Thanks.
Same question to you. Where are you from? Where did you study? Where are you studying?
Hello, everyone. I'm currently a second year to be master's student at Cornell University. I study applied economics and management, and I was one of the last year's awardees for Sena and Schieber Economics Award. I completed my bachelor's at Middle East Technical University in Ankara in business administration. I also had a minor in industrial engineering, and I am really happy to be here with you today. I'm joining from Manisa. I'm visiting my parents in Turkey for summer break.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm personally jealous. I will come and visit with you next year. Kardelen, please introduce yourself and where you're from. Where did you study?
Hi, everyone. Currently, I am joining this webinar from Antalya because I'm visiting my parents in here. And I am a second year PhD student in economics at American University in Washington, D.C. And I just finished my first year studies, and I am moving to be second year student. And before I completed my master's in applied economics at George Washington University at Washington, D.C. again.
So did you know Ayşenur before?
Oh, no, we didn't know, but we are in touch with her, and she connected with me during her applications to George Washington University because she's gonna study where I am alumni right now.
Oh, okay, great. Now Sila, you knew Ayşenur and you encouraged her to apply for this award. Is that correct?
Yeah, she reached out to me in the application process, just as I did to previous awardees. And to the best of my knowledge, I shared my experiences and hopefully encouraged her to apply. And now we're here together.
That's great.
Yeah, she was a great help. Yeah, thank you.
Just out of curiosity, how did you hear it? How did everybody hear about this award?
I can start.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was searching for master's programs and I saw it, I think, on Columbia University's website. And then I started like researching it, like what are the criterias and everything. And then I also checked the past awardees. And when it came to the application time, I like contacted Sıla and Kardelen, and I tried to gain more information and everything. So that's how the process went for me.
Okay, that's great. That's a great takeaway for those who are tuning in. Use your networks. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask questions. Okay. Elif, how did you hear about the award?
So I've actually heard about the Turkish philanthropy funds before, a couple years back. And last year when I was applying for master's programs in the US, I realized the cost of these programs are just so high that the Fulbright scholarship is not going to be enough to fulfill my aspirations. So I was doing some extra research on other scholarship opportunities, and I came across the Sena Eken Schieber Award. And luckily, one of my friends, Eken, she is also doing her master's at Columbia University as well. And she is one of the last year's awardees. And after talking to her, I decided this would be a good fit and I decided to apply.
That's great. Okay. Kardelen, how did you hear about it?
So I received this Sena Eken Schieber Economics Award for my master's at George Washington University also. So then when I heard it first time when I am doing application for masters, and it was my first time application in US, so there was not many opportunities to study in US. There were no other scholarship opportunities that you can apply. And then I remember the chair of our economics department sent an email about this scholarship, and when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, of course I will apply to this scholarship. So this is how I heard it.
Oh, okay. And Sıla?
Yeah, same as Kardelen's story. A lovely professor at ODTÜ sent us the informative email, and at first I was really hesitant to apply because I didn't do my bachelor's in economics, but somehow the field that I wanted to study in was related to economics, so I just gave it a chance, and yeah, I did.
Okay, so I want to pick up on that because this is an award specifically for women who are interested in studying economics at a higher level. You said that you didn't study economics as an undergrad. How did you become interested in this and know that you wanted to actually pursue this?
So towards the end of my high school years, I like it's the really cliche story, but I knew what I didn't want to do. I studied at a science high school, and the usual path for the graduates was either medicine or engineering. I knew I wanted to do something in the realms of social sciences, but I couldn't really pinpoint what. So I chose business because I thought it's going to offer me the most flexibility and some room for me to figure out what I would really want to concentrate on in the future. I'm so glad I did, because in the first couple of years, as part of the curriculum, we had some introductory economics courses. I really liked the analytical mindset that it gave me. And later I figured that economics is such a broad area of study, from, environmental economics to labor economics, behavioral, you name it. And that's how I decided. At the time I was interested in financial institutions, their risk management practices, and especially climate risk. So I always wanted to pursue graduate education and in the US. And I figured Cornell's program was a great fit for me because it was both strong in environmental economics and finance. That's why first I applied to Cornell, and then I had to find a scholarship. And then I was lucky enough to be selected as an awardee for Sena Eken Schieber.
Great. Kardelen, I'll go counterclockwise. Kardelen, how did you become interested in economics?
So I did my bachelor in economics, I did my master's in economics, and I'm doing my PhD right now. So I'm very economist pet person. And so when I decided to study economics first time for my bachelor, of course, as a Turkish person, like there are a lot of ongoing issues in our country. So I was like very interested in all these social problems and economic problems and political problems. I was like a person who always read the journals and the newspapers. Then, of course, when I start to study in the undergrad in economics, I was so happy that because I was perfectly matching with my personal interest. Then at the end of my bachelor, I decided, okay, I am gonna pursue like more academical path, and then I want to also improve like become like the more like the policy making side in the economics. And then actually I am working with many topics right now also because I'm working as a researcher. And I am like one of the topics I am working is like the gender economics. And so our scholarship is Sena Eken Schieber Economic Scholarship is just unique scholarship, the giving opportunity for the Turkish females, because we are coming from a country like the Turkish females join the labor force as like 40%, which is very low, and we need to improve this issue really. And so I'm so proud to be like one of the awardee of the scholarship. Like also, I would like to contribute to the studies in the gender economics and all these ongoing issues. So this is my story in the economics right now.
Great. Okay. I'd like to come back to that topic of gender economics. That's very personally very interesting to me. And since I'm the host, I get to talk about what I want. Elif, how did you get interested in economics?
So I wouldn't say studying economics was the first thing on my mind from the beginning. Also because I didn't really know what an economist actually does and what it actually entailed. But then I participated in a short-term exchange program in Germany, and I was living with a host family who grew up in East Berlin. And I remember us having a discussion about the German economic miracle after the Second World War, and he mentioned that Eastern Germany was still lagging behind the West. And I remember that was the moment that I first became interested. And then I got into college. I decided to take a few economics courses out of curiosity, and I found myself enjoying them very much. So I applied to pursue for a double major, and I ended up studying economics.
Okay, great. Ayşenur, tell us how you got interested in economics.
Yeah, just like Sıla, I also studied management, and like her story, I also started to become interested when I was taking the introductory mandatory courses. And after that, I mean, the thing that interested me, I think, is that economics, like compared to my major, economics is more open to critical thinking and analytical thinking. This is what I liked, and also it's a really diverse topic. Like I think it's very fascinating how economics is like related to other fields like politics or psychology. Like I find it really interesting. And also I love mathematics. So that's when I decided that I really like economics. And then I started searching for masters. And then I realized that I need to take some more elective economics classes so that I can be qualified enough to apply to those master programs. And then I took some electives, and then I really decided that it's the right path for me, that it's my passion. And yeah.
So let me ask a question, and this is partially prompted by Kardelen's remark about gender and economics. And there's not a lot of Turkey has a challenge with women represented in the workforce. I'm actually curious because you all studied at Turkish universities. You're interested in a field that here, at least in the West, in the United States, I can authoritatively say it is a very male-dominated field. Do you feel that there were any obstacles for you to get involved in economics? And do you see it? Is that the same? I mean, do you see that there is a gender challenge in the economics field? I'll throw that out to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, well, because it's not the time for me to get into the workforce right now, I can't say that I experienced it directly, but like from checking the statistics and everything, yes, it is low. And actually, it is a good inspiration, like that Sena and Schieber, for example, is a good demonstration for like women's potential. And yes, like if I mean, it's a traditionally male-dominated field, and well, considering that, it can be kind of a like a wall. There can be kind of a wall that blocks you from maybe like that causes some fear that you might not be as successful, or you might not be get into that field. But yes, like having, I think even it is underrepresented, even if females are underrepresented, it is a good thing that there are still representatives of us, so that we can see that it's not impossible, or it's not a low chance. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't that afraid, but I would like to improve that, like by my contribution.
I think there definitely is a barrier. Like a lot of women don't even consider themselves to be studying economics, just because they don't see other women studying economics that much. But one of the biggest chances that I got was to be working with a lot of great female role models when I was in college. And I hope we could be one of those role models in the future for other women as well.
Totally, 100%. So important. Okay, yeah. Cardinal.
So I believe like there are many problems in the representation of females in the many sectors and in many positions. When I first started my bachelor degree in economics, like it was like worse than today, but we can see the improvements in last 10-20 years. And there is like the female representation in the many positions, in administrative position, in high positions are very low when we look at the statistics. And also, if you look at if you follow the journals, if you see like the head of the companies, the people in the parliament, like still the female representation is very low. I mean, this is low even in the advanced economies, but it is a very major problem in our country and other emerging and developing economies. And we know that there is like the gap between wages of the males and the females. And under these circumstances, of course, the females are not very motivated to study economics, but there are always good examples. Like when I heard first time about Sena Eken, she was one of the female highest position in IMF in her time. So it was very difficult to get position that time, and she did it, and she has a lot of accomplishment, and she was amazing policymaker. So this type of people are very inspiring for us. So I'm very inspired by Sena Eken Schieber, and I believe like with our scholarship, like myself, like our other friends right now, I believe we can contribute to this gap between male and female. Also, I'm studying my PhD right now, and everyone talks about like the most of the economics departments are represented by the male professors. Like there is different, like number of the male professors are even higher than the female professors. I hope that this is gonna improve over the time, and we are here and we are studying to recover this gap between males and the females. And I am really grateful for this scholarship that we get this opportunity to be competitive in the international area, to be competitive with the many amazing opportunities and amazing schools. I mean, I wouldn't like imagine myself studying at George Washington University and studying the PhD in economics sometimes, but after receiving my scholarship and during my scholarship application, I understood that these opportunities are not very difficult for a female. everyone can achieve it. Just females need support in this field, and this is what Sena Eken Schieber Economic Scholarship is doing for the Turkish females.
Yeah, and Sena, I invite you. Can you talk a little bit about what this award and what Sena Eken Schieber, what does she mean to you and as a woman in economics?
So of course, she's a very successful economist who has contributed to her country first and foremost, and she's a great role model to us. But beyond her professional success and her educational excellence, I think I take her as a role model for two main reasons. The first one is she started a life in the US. She could have easily continued to serve there, but when she had the opportunity, she volunteered to come back to her country and help it at a very turbulent time. So this is something that I value because I was born and raised in this country, and after moving abroad, everyone has that identity crisis, which I also had. And I realized that I have a very strong roots in this country, and I wanna with my education, I also want to contribute to the US, but also eventually give back to Turkey, which she did, and I really admire that. And on a personal note, it actually happened at Cornell last semester. We had a speaker from the World Bank, and he is also Turkish, which I also later found that he's also one of the graduates of my high school. So after the talk, I approached him and we had a great conversation. And I mentioned how I got to Cornell, about TPF, the award. And when he heard about Sena Eken Schieber, he immediately recognized her. Like, they didn't have a personal connection, but their mutual connections spoke really highly of her. So at that time, obviously, I knew she was a great person from what you've told us, from George Schieber. We also had a conversation with him as well. But on a personal experience level, it was the first time that I felt extremely proud to be a scholar of a fund that was named after her. So she was not only a great scholar and a professional in her field, but she was a really genuinely good human being, which I also value a lot.
Can you also, I love that anecdote, so thank you so much for sharing it. And just about the identity, I was born in the United States to Turkish parents, and I spend a lot of money on therapy about understanding who I am, so I can relate to that. Can you talk a little bit about how, so you won the award previously and you've spent time at Cornell. Can you talk about how the award has impacted your life since first receiving it?
Well, it has impacted my life for the better in so many ways. So first, needless to say, Cornell is one of the top educational institutions in the world, and I got to both learn from and work alongside professors who are really successful and proficient in their field. And I got to hear about the latest research in the field. And I also, after coming to Cornell, I made a lot of cool friends from all over the world. I also studied abroad before in Europe, but what I would truly consider a real international and diverse experience is what I had at Cornell. And when I first started my department, I had a totally different research interest. And after taking some introductory courses, my program was really flexible in that manner. My interests shifted a little bit. Now I'm studying something completely different, still related to economics. But in 1 year, a lot of change in my life, and none of this would have been possible without the award.
Great, thank you so much. Cardinal, how has this award impacted your life?
When I received the award first time, and when I started my master's at George Washington University, it was my first time experience abroad. So I have never studied out of Turkey, and I have never lived. So it was like amazing opportunity for me because I was living in another country, like very far away from my home, and like the totally different culture and environment. And of course, like I learned so much about international like communities, the different cultures, like all this diversification. I exposed a lot of different things. So it was amazing. Like you learn about the world because you see different people, different attitudes, and of course, like George Washington University is very good school, and like it was amazing to be studying there. And I was working as a research assistant with many professors. Like it was amazing to be like the part of the department. Like so, I was also like very lucky to be in Washington D.C. because it is amazing location for learning the economic policies, all these institutions in the Washington D.C. And so I was like following all the events, going to seminars, like meeting with new people. Then of course it was like improving my understanding of economics, what is going on in the world. After my graduation from George Washington University, I started working at the World Bank. So like it is like it was my dream institute to be there because I wouldn't think I'm working at World Bank when I was a student in Turkey. And after that, I moved to work in the IMFs. Like I had very like amazing work experiences thanks to the scholarship I received because I was able to study in the US and apply all these institutions, and I had the good research background thanks to my education. So it was all the significant things contributed my personal development and to get opportunities in many research fields and institutions.
Great, thank you. Elif and Ayşenur, you will be coming to the United States to start your studies. What are your hopes? What are you hoping to achieve? Elif, why don't we start with you?
So in the shorter term, I'm hoping to graduate successfully from Columbia University. But in the meanwhile, I want to meet a lot of people because I think being in a multicultural environment and having the chance to actually learn from all these different people is a great one. And also, Columbia has a lot of professors that are working in the field that I'm interested in, and I would welcome the opportunity to actually meet with them, work with them, and learn from them. So I'm really excited to be embarking on this journey.
Wonderful. Ayşenur.
I also would like to meet like a lot of people from different places. I also studied like in Europe for one semester, I'm thinking that United States will be different. I mean, it's gonna be my first time in the US, so I can't really imagine how it's gonna be. But I think I will be able to meet a lot of people. I would like to work with my professors there in the university. And I also would like to work in the institutions that also Kardelen mentioned, like IMF or the World Bank, because I would like to have experience and decide if I want to build career similar to that. So yeah, I would like to have experiences on that. I also would like to, in the United States, as far as I know, there is like a lot of things that you can find from different cultures. So I would like to maybe meet with other cultures, like their foods and everything. So I would like to have those experiences.
Great. I just want to prepare you. Çayımız rezalet. Terrible. I make good chai though, so you're welcome to come to my house for some good Turkish chai.
Okay, thank you.
So we've been chatting for about 30 minutes, and this has been tremendously inspiring for me. And I know that all of you are young, and you're trying to break into economics, and you're still studying, and you have future goals. But I think a lot of the people that are tuning in and who will tune in, and I hope that people will watch this video, particularly girls in Turkey who are in high school or even younger than that, who might be inspired to study economics. I'd love for you to maybe share some wisdom to them about inspirational words of encouragement for young women in Turkey. Why don't we go around? Ayşenur, we can start with you.
Well, this has been always my thinking. I never fear to do anything because I never fear to get rejected, because I mean, rejection is in my eyes, it's a small thing, but on the other side, if you can get acceptance, like it can be a life-changing opportunity. Like I think this scholarship is one of those things. So and I think well, one can find what really is there. I mean, you can always trace your passion. I mean, you can try to do that by getting out of your comfort zone, but I think it's a really invaluable thing to like trace your passion, because that's how you can do your job, like, or do your like work efficiently and maybe in the best way. So and that's what makes me happy. Like I'm really happy that I will start my master's in economics. Like I'm really excited to take those classes and everything. And well, I encourage everyone to also trace their passion. And yeah, I think well, if there's a life-changing opportunity, like being afraid to get rejected or anything is not really I don't know, it does not sound really logical to me, because on the other side there is a really life-changing opportunity. So if anyone wants to study abroad, I would recommend them to be open and encouraged to like try the options.
Great, I love that. Don't be afraid of failure. I love that. That's great. Elif.
So don't hesitate to reach out to people and learn from them, because it just makes the process easier and you get to meet a lot of cool people on the road. And if you're sure this is what you want to pursue, please don't give up, because there are going to be a lot of challenges on the road and you will want to give up. But if you're sure, please don't, and just push through.
I love that. Persistence. She persisted. I love that. Okay, Kardelen.
So I believe having the hope and the motivation about the future is very helpful always. Even if we're in some bad conditions, and if we believe like this is not gonna change, there is always like something can improve in this world. So this is very important, and having the belief in yourself and having the belief for futures and being like positive person sometimes. Also, I would like to say like the economics is emerging field, like as other friends said, like it is very diverse topics, and we need more females contributing in this field and representing these economic policy institutions, the companies, and all other economic related fields. So I believe the females can contribute this field.
Great, thank you. It's important. You're right. It's important to stay positive, because there's so many things that if you focus in on the obstacles, and I think particularly for Turkish women, there are so many obstacles.
Absolutely.
And you really need to really kind of, you know, channel that positive energy. Thank you so much. Sila.
I think they shouldn't give up on just trying anything and everything, because finding out what you like is a never-ending process. And I think Ayşenur and I share the same paths in that regard. We found out about our love for economics later in life. And even after I started my program, I shifted gears and started studying something in a completely new field to me. So stakes are not that high. It's not that big of a deal. Just it's a trial and error process. And again, don't keep up trying, and don't give up hope.
Great. What a wonderful note to end on. Ladies, congratulations once again. I just want to reiterate for those who are tuning in, this is an extremely competitive award. I know that so many people applied to it, and we are thrilled that we have 4 exceptional, talented minds who were awarded this, who are interested in economics. And more importantly, they're really interested in contributing and making a greater contribution, not only to Turkey, but I think to the economics field. And so I congratulate all of you. I look forward to meeting all of you. And I thank everyone who has tuned in. You can find out more about the Sena Eken Schieber Economics Award on tpffunds.org. If you don't know about our organization, please find out more. It is a wonderful philanthropic organization that supports a lot of wonderful organizations in Turkey that range from gender, women and girls to disaster relief. TPF was a big played a big role in the recent earthquake in southeastern Turkey in February. On that note, thank you everyone, and thank you TPF for inviting me back for this special edition.